I want to show you something about the Tomahawk missile attack that Dagan was alluding to that shows potential adversaries of the United States what you're in for. If you challenge us, or if you lie to us, or if you will bomb and use chemical weapons on your own people, these Tomahawk missiles these days are capable of actually moving underneath protected territory. In this case, planes that were supposedly hidden from view and hidden from harm. Not in this case. So these smart technology Tomahawk missiles can actually move midstream, go under tunnels, facilities, you name it. And if that is a message to those who wish us ill or worse, it isn't lost on this next fellow, the Senate Armed Services Committee member, Republican Oklahoma Senator Jim Inhofe. You know, Senator, I'm looking at that and the capability that these Tomahawk missiles have today. If I'm in North Korea, if I'm even in Syria, I'm thinking, oh, wow, these things have advanced way beyond what I thought they were capable of doing.
Oh, yeah, they're just incredibly accurate. In fact, when you get the figures as to how few people, if they're not public yet, were actually killed, it's remarkable how few there were. We're talking about less than 10 during this attack. Oh, it's a great weapon, and it's cheap. You know, $1 million a piece. I would say that was a bargain.
You know, it's interesting as well about the message this might send going forward. I'm sure the president, in bringing these up to Xi Jinping, the Chinese president, when he was in town, and he wants, obviously, the Chinese help in dealing with North Korea. Did this change the equation on that, or what's your sense?
Well, I think so, for this reason. First of all, the entire free world is standing behind our president right now. It's just remarkable, and even Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi. And then China came out and they said, while they don't want to officially endorse what happened, we have to do something. They agree with us. We have to do something about that particular weapon, about those weapons, to make sure that they're out of existence. Obviously, when they tried to do it, you know, I remember, Neil, it was 8 years ago, you and I were talking, I think it was on this program, that was about when Obama was taking his apology tour and talking about his policy of appeasement. That, you know, it just doesn't work. We said at that time that it wouldn't work. Now you have China agreeing that we need to get rid of those weapons because you don't know who would be the target next time. Obviously, it didn't work. What he did not work.
You know, Senator, you were talking about the support the president has gotten for this attack on part of the unlikeliest places, including prominent Democrats, Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi. Not so some of your colleagues like Rand Paul, Mike Lee, who feel that he should have run this by Congress, the Senate, more to the point first. What do you make of that? Well,
I just disagree with that. Of course, Rand Paul is a libertarian. I have a lot of respect for that, but it's just not someone who's been strong for national defense and for building our defense. So I just disagree with him philosophically, and I think it's a pretty small minority of people who share that belief, because the rest of the world is on our side on this thing.
All right, now this Russian ship has moved in on these other two ships from which these Tomahawk missiles were launched a couple of days ago. Now the question is what it does if we launch them again. What do you think?
Well, first of all, this is what Russia has been doing for a long period of time, as others have been doing. And that is, they'll send a ship out, they'll come close, they'll try to inflict some fear, but it doesn't really happen. You know, this whole idea on where Russia is on this, I have a totally different feeling about it. I think Russia now has a fear of the United States. They loved it when Obama was in there because they could do anything they wanted. Look what they did in Ukraine. They came in there and started killing those people, knowing that our administration would not send defensive weapons into the Ukrainians. Now, of course, it's a different game in town. So I think that they now have a new respect for us, and I think that's going to be reflected in a much better relationship. Let's wait and see what happens.
All right.